Hey guys, Boom here. Now before I get into the video, I want to say why there was no video on Friday or the Saturday, and that's because I had a very bad flu. You might still be able to hear my voice, I might sound a little bit different. I am a little bit better now. I was very sick, and I was able to get a video out for you guys. But with that out of the way, I'll get straight into this video. For this week of Challenge Field, I have something a little bit different. I enjoy doing these episodes where I do multiple sort of things, you know, maybe a loadout or a challenge or similar thing in one episode. And this week I have sort of a multiple bolt action challenges. Now the first one you saw was the CS5 with nothing on it except a silencer. You can remove the silencer, but it's what the gun comes with, so I sort of left it on there. And I only got one kill before dying very quickly with that weapon. With these, I tried not to use the same one too many times, so I'd change it up. I did go on quite a long kill streak with one of them, but I tried not to use too many at the same time. Now the second one, as you can see on screen currently, is an SRR-61, which is an extremely long-range bolt action rifle with a 20 times scope, a suppressor, and that's all. And this weapon was actually really good. The big thing was the suppressor and the scope. I was able to sit a long way away, easily see my targets. I could probably, if I was a good distance away, I could probably still see the hairs on their chin. It was a damn good scope to have, and you can see just here, I'm able to look down this corridor and easily see opponents just like they were barely in front of me. And the suppressor definitely helped as well, because it kept me quiet. As you can see just there, that guy ran straight past me, having no idea, then I'm lying there, and I get a nice easy kill. The one problem with this weapon was in fact the scope. Like, even though I said it was very good, obviously playing in a small map like Metro, I'm gonna have huge problems with a 20 times scope. I didn't have a 40 times, which you can in fact get, but unfortunately, like I said, I didn't have one. I do here, as I ran outside very briefly, I did try some quick scoping. It obviously does not work, as I get shot very quickly, because this scope just takes so long, A, to aim down sights, and B, you have no idea what you're looking at because it zooms in so far. I wouldn't really recommend this one. It is quite fun to use. I could have easily made it worse, but it was fun to use. So the next one I have is an SRR, or an SR 338, not the SRR. And this weapon is god awful. I've already done a video on it. I'm not going to go on too long about how bad it is, mainly because it drives me to physical pain about how bad it is and about how much I can rage about it. I'll leave a link to a video down in the description. Basically, what I'll say is just there, you saw I put 2 shots into that guy upper chest using a sniper rifle, and the guy still survived. It is so bad, and I just would not recommend using this. This weapon in itself is a challenge to use. If you get 100 kills with it, you deserve a medal. Not just any medal, you deserve a Medal of Honor from the President of the United States. And I'm not even lying, it is that bad in my opinion. So now we'll move on to a weapon that probably did win somebody a Medal of Honor. Now the weapon I'm using is the M40A5 with an 8 times scope and a bipod. Now this weapon was first used in Vietnam, I believe, but there was the M40A3, which is a different version, might have even been an earlier version. But the weapon is still pretty iconic, although it's not kitted out at all for the scene of Metro. Even though it's got a close quarters bolt action rifle, don't ever use it in Metro. It doesn't work at all, and I really would not recommend using it at all in Metro. In other modes, it's quite good, especially on other maps. Now just here I have a weapon that is actually very good and very fond of. I think it's just very cool. I have the 338 Recon. Now what I had on this was an IRNV with a 3-point laser sight. And by a 3-point laser sight, I mean that instead of having just one laser pointing forwards, there's 3 that point in sort of a triangle, almost like the movie Predator. Now this weapon is actually very good. I'm a big fan of this weapon, and I have in fact used it before. It's a little bit weird having an IRNV on it, and especially seeing as some of the time I appeared to shoot somebody like just there, but they didn't actually die, and some of the time I appeared to shoot somebody where they shouldn't have died, but they did. It's a very sort of weird, almost inconsistent weapon. That being said though, it is still extremely fun, and definitely a weapon I recommend you using. Even if you want to go with a crazy loadout like I did, and just kit it out to the max, it is still very fun to use. And this one that I probably will be using in the future in more wacky ways, just casually playing, because it is that much fun to use. Also, even if you're a casual sniper and you play normally as you should as a recon, it's still very good to use. Now the next weapon I had here is something that I think we all tried back in Battlefield 3. What I have is an M98B with iron sights. Now if you've played Battlefield 3, you will probably know, just like in Battlefield 4, you can take the scopes off sniper rifles. And this I think is the first time you're able to do this in a Battlefield game. And this was a big thing. Like, everyone knew it had no sort of game purpose, it was very bad, but people still did it because it was extremely fun, and that hasn't changed in Battlefield 4. It is still really fun to try this out, and you know, it does actually work pretty well. If you can take time and line up your shots, you can actually get a good line of sight and possibly a kill. It's definitely not a close quarters weapon, and I wouldn't advise ever trying to use it in close quarters. In general, bolt actions aren't designed for close quarters, so why would you use them in close quarters? So although you can use this weapon in close quarters because it has no iron sights and it will kill very quickly, it isn't advised for the reasons I just stated. Now, I think out of all these weapons, this was my favourite. My least favourite was definitely the SR338. It's just a weapon, like I said, I despise. Again, there's a link down in the description to a full video I did on it about why I hate it so much. But this weapon, when I'm using it right now, the MMTAB, still isn't very good. It's just fun to use, and it's something you don't usually try. It's cool. It's a really good feeling when you can quickly pinpoint somebody and get one shot off and defeat them when they have bullets flying down towards you at around 800 rounds per minute. Now, before this video ends, I want to say a couple of things. Like I said, I've had a bit of a flu. I couldn't really speak. I still struggle speaking now, but I am much better now, and we did in fact get past 100 subscribers. I'm not going to do anything special. Even though it is 100 subscribers, it's a landmark. It's nothing crazy. When I get to a bit more crazy landmarks, maybe 200, 300, 500, I'll definitely do something. But when I get to those higher landmarks, I will begin to do more extravagant things. But right now, I'm not going to do anything. So that's all for you guys. Thank you for watching Monsoon. I'll see you some guys. Monsoon out.